We have here three bronze elements. They span a period from roughly the 8th century BC up to 150 AD. And they're all items of adornment. These are personal jewellery, really. And the roundel in the back, that is for a chariot, or indeed maybe a horse harness as well. So they're there to show a certain amount of status. The other thing that links them all is repetition. You'll see that in the background there are these simple shapes called pelta, which is named after a type of Greek shield. And the repetition here is in the twisting of this elaborate torque. Here we can see that just by the slight incising on the surface of the outside, we've got different bands of very simple forms. The Wendelring torque here would have been worn around the neck. And this is a bronze rod which has been beaten into shape, so it has these four flanges, and then twisted. Not only twisted just in one direction, but then on itself again, and then on itself, and then on itself. So it's been twisted all the way around. A very elaborate process, and one that's quite risky because the bronze becomes quite brittle because of the way it's worked. And you'll notice on this one two things. There's a crack here, which is from the stress of its manufacture. But here there's a very, well, rather crude repair where a drop of bronze has been applied to where there's obviously been another break. And that's been done in ancient times. The second piece of jewellery is called a penannular bracelet. And it's a form which many of us will be familiar with. In fact, here I am, I'm wearing my own penannular bracelet, which I wear all the time. Penannular simply means it's an incomplete circle. This is very heavy, but really beautiful. The patina has this wonderful green depth to it, quite unlike my rather thin silver example. So this is the most recent of all the pieces, and it's a fitment, and we can tell it's a fitment because it has these four holes which would have allowed it to be attached to another material, possibly metal, possibly wood, possibly even leather. And you can see it has a four-part design of these interlocking pelta. It's cast, and it's finished more on one side than the other. So the back side is unfinished, so we know it must have been against another material. And it looks symmetrical, but actually it isn't. I don't think it's symmetrical in any of those possible axes, of which there is 1, 2, 3, 4 possible axes. But this interlocking sense of repetition, I think, is extremely attractive. So we have several connections here. We have the material, which is bronze. We have their circularity of their form, we have their adornment, we have the colour, which is obviously the colour the bronze has come through burial, and we have this sense of repetition. But there's one other element which brings all these three together, and that is they were all owned by a great contemporary art dealer called John Kasmin, or Kaz, as he's known to practically everyone. And Kaz is a most remarkable man. He's ebullient, he's knowledgeable, he has endless memories of his art dealing days. He's now in his 80s, but during the 60s he was David Hockney's first dealer. He bought, I think, one of Hockney's paintings from his Royal College show. You can understand why Kasmin's eye has alighted upon them. There is this wonderful sense of simplicity, there is this linearity about them, there's an immediately appreciated sense of form here. And it's one which you can tie closely to somebody who's interested in modern art, contemporary art. And I think that sense of immediacy is quite apparent here. And it's very exciting for us to be able to have these three simple forms all together, all coming with this lovely collector's history from Kaz, this great contemporary dealer from London.